Are you tired of feeling like you're wearing a mask that you can't take off, that you're fronting, perpetrating a fraud, being somebody that you're not? Well, family, we're talking about that and getting started right now. Peace and blessings to the WUCUSU Empowerment tribe. It's Brother Agyei Tyehimba, your empowerment coach. If this is your first time here, I want to welcome you to a community of people who want to wake up, clean up, and stand up and live their best lives. I want to share something with you today, family. There was a time in my life, due to a very important romantic relationship that I was in, I felt so betrayed and humiliated that it just rocked my entire world. And I started going out with my friends, going to parties, doing all types of stuff that I didn't normally do because I was in pain, and this was my way of escaping. And there was times, family, I'd come back in the house 4 a.m. or later from some club or from a young lady's house. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm not recognizing this brother. This is a character I've created, a persona, a mask. This is not really me. And I created it because I'm in pain. I'm trying to escape relationships and other things were probably compromised because I didn't catch myself and recognize what was going on with me. So if you ever felt like you were living for everybody else's approval, doing certain things to escape pain or embarrassment, adapting yourself to fit in with others, I think this message will resonate with you. I want to paint a picture for you. You wake up and automatically your brain goes into planning mode. Who am I going to be today? What version of myself do I need to be at work? The agreeable team player who never rocks the boat? With family, the responsible one, or the person with your friends, ready to always get some liquor, dance, party, everything's a joke, and you wind up being exhausted from playing all of these different roles. Maybe you're making career choices that's based on what looks impressive to other people, what you think the society recognizes, not what really lights you up inside. Or you're in relationships where you feel like, oh, I can't discuss this because when I do this, this person changes the subject because they're not into that. So you don't feel value. You don't feel like what you bring is valued or seen. You become a master of people pleasing, changing yourself up to make other people like you. Underneath all of this is often this terrifying question: what if the people I work with, study with, party with don't like the real me? And what I've learned and what I see with many of the people that I've known and worked with over the years is that living inauthentically, it isn't just a matter of making you tired, exhausted, having to constantly perform all these roles. It makes you sick, emotionally sick, and sometimes physically sick. But on the other hand, when you step into who you really are and embrace who you are, things change. You're not as exhausted. The right relationships emerge, come into your life, the right people who are drawn to you because of your genuine energy and because your energy and vibration resonates with their energy and vibration. Now you're going to probably have less toxic relationships, less arguing all the time, less having to explain yourself on every little thing. Your career starts aligning with your purpose because you're finally listening to that inner compass and that inner voice. And here's the thing a lot of people may not realize. Your authentic self isn't something you have to create or build. It's something you just need to uncover or discover. It's already there, family, waiting for you to remember who you've always really been. So here's 3 things to do to help us tap into our authentic selves. One is, I'm going to call this the archaeological dig. You're going to pretend like you're an archaeologist. You're digging. You're digging in your own life. You're trying to uncover, what are my true values and priorities and desires? What are the things that make me who I am? And one way to do this initially is go into your childhood. What types of things did you love doing as a child before other people tell you what you should love? These are clues to who you are, family. Next, do an energy audit of your current life now as an adult. Take notice of when you feel most energized. And when you are doing these particular things, time just seems to disappear. You might even forget to eat. Then I want you on the flip side to notice, when do you feel drained? When do you feel like you're being fake? When do you feel like you're acting a role like in a movie? Try this exercise. Let's call it the 5-year-old test. If your 5-year-old self walked into your life today, what would genuinely excite them? What would make their eyes light up? And that excitement is your authentic self waving at you. Step 2, let's call this the permission slip. You're going to give yourself permission to be yourself, even if it comes up a little weird to other people, to be who you are. This means you should start questioning because they said, yeah, but they said Okay, who's they? And who says they are right? Who says that what they are talking about is going to make you happy and fulfilled? Challenge the programming that has told you what you're supposed to be, what things you're supposed to value, what things you're supposed to chase. And I want you to embrace your quirks, whatever it is. These things make you memorable, valuable, unique, and irreplaceable. These things that others, that they may call weird or quirky, are the things that make you who you are and separate you from other people. And by the way, those other people that are often trying to make you feel bad for your quote unquote quirks are often living inauthentically themselves. Often they have quirks too that they're hiding because they're trying to fit in. I want you to start small with this, family. Practice one moment of authenticity every day. Maybe you'll speak up in a meeting. Maybe you'll say, I don't know, when someone asks you something, instead of fronting like you do and trying to answer something you know nothing about. Step 3, the courage bridge. This is where you build a muscle to live authentically even when you're scared to do so, when you're uncomfortable. First, identify your safe spaces. These might be trusted elders, family members, or friends you can confide in. They're never challenging you, never trying to make you feel bad. They listen and they're supportive. It could be doing a creative hobby that you enjoy. It could be just being by yourself and writing in your journal. Practice being real in low stakes situations before you do this in larger areas of your life. And it sounds funny, doesn't it? That you got to practice being who you are. But it's only funny and it's only weird because for so many of us, we spend so much of our lives being someone we're not. So we have to unlearn that and then instead practice being who we really are. I want you to be real clear. Expect resistance from others who are used to you being the fake self you've been, the imposter self. People are used to the character you built and created and that you act out, and they're not used to your authentic self. But they will be or they won't be. That's on them. I want you also to actively seek out people who either celebrate your authenticity. Everybody's not going to celebrate your authenticity, but they at least don't try to make you feel bad. They say, hey, that's so-and-so, she just quirky like that. When you start showing up as yourself, you're going to attract a whole new set of people in your life. I'm not saying this in a romantic way, although that happens too. People are attracted to people who are their authentic selves, who they feel they can trust. They're not trying to tell them nothing to mislead them or manipulate them. But I really mean in a larger sense, you're going to attract people that want to work with you, that want to work with you to help your dreams come true, be on your team, you be a part of their team. This is very important stuff in our lives. And every week, I want you to ask yourself, where did I honor my authentic self this week? Or where did I perform the character I made up versus being my authentic self? And I don't want you to judge yourself negatively. I don't want you to beat yourself up. Transformation is a process. It takes time. And it's really about developing your awareness. When you're performing this character you made up, you're aware of it. When you're being your authentic self, you're aware of it. And not only aware of what you're doing, but how what you're doing makes you feel. The more you associate good feelings with being your authentic self, the easier it will be for you to be your authentic self. Now, I know some of you may be thinking, yeah, I hear you, Agyei, but what if people judge me? What if I lose relationships and friendships? If people ostracize you for being who you are and they move away from you, then that's their loss. Maybe you're losing people who weren't good for you in the first place. And so, yeah, you're going to lose some relationships, friendships, when you stop being the person these people need you to be for their interests. But my point here is that you're going to gain. And in some cases, the relationships that you already have will deepen. The gains that you will get from being your true self will more than make up for the losses that you deal with. And so, in fact, that's not a loss. In my book, that's an upgrade. If you don't know who you are yet, there's no pressure, no stress, and no worry. Take your time. This may not happen in a week, a month. It may not happen in a year. Take your time, enjoy the journey. This is not about being perfect and not about doing something fast. It's about being real. My elders used to always say, measure twice and cut once. Or they would say, haste makes waste. These are different ways they were trying to communicate to me as a young man. Don't be one of these people that's trying to hurry up and get something done to say you did it, or to meet some type of image you think will make you palatable to society. Do things right. Take your time. Because when you do that, you create a strong foundation. When you rush, you typically are making bad errors in judgment that will prove to be almost every single time very costly. And I also got to say this. Most of this video, we've been kind of talking about, man, be your true self. Don't worry about nobody else, what people think. Express yourself authentically. Do the things that you like to do. But I do need to say this. Being real, authentic, and being crass and inconsiderate are not the same thing. If being who you are means you're being demeaning, dismissive, arrogant, and abusive, then those things about who you are need to change. And that means your authentic self needs work. Guess what I'm trying to say? Being real does not permit you to be an asshole. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. The world does not need another fake, copycat, clone of somebody else. The world needs you and your authentic self. With that said, family, shine, be you. But remember that in being you, you're being your best you. With that said, peace and blessings, family. Until next time.